Oh, welcome back, fellow warriors, to more Fuck Me, the video game.
Okay.
Today, we keep failing a stealth quest. And, fuck me if I know how to do it, right? So currently, my biggest objective is trying to reach the chip. There's a turret and 2 guards that I can't manipulate. The only guard I can manipulate is coming through the door right now. Or he did. He already did. Okay, so the only guard I can manipulate already came through the door. Now, from what I can tell, I can issue 1 order to him, period. After that, I can't issue any more orders. So, at this point, I don't know what else to do. Now, demonstration. 2 guards, and this turret, and that turret, and a 3rd guard somewhere around here. I'm not sure where. Cool, Bethesda. I have to get through all of the... There he is. So, and get this. Now. I can't do that. I cannot make these 2 move. So they just stay around this area, and I can't get through this turret. So right now, I am utterly confused on what I can and can't do. Also, they're level 44. Like, fuck that. No. Okay, so the moment I get out here... That turret's gonna detect me. The instant I get out there, the turret's gonna detect me. You're not gonna see any of this. Bye-bye. Okay, I think I figured it out. Took a lot of trial and error, but I think I figured it out. So we let him pass. That's not see-through glass, so they can't see me. So we let him pass. Let him go in there. Then we take care of these things. Or the computer. Run the overseer program on this so it erases all the data. And then we pick up a few odds and ends on the desk. Then we go the way he came. Now, if we had the robotics perk, we could pacify that turret. But I learned that if we stay underneath it, it can't see us. Then we move over here. Wait for it to turn. Grab his computer. Deactivate all the turrets. Once the turrets are deactivated, we open this door. Now, case in point, the guy that we let through the doors is in there right now. So we have to time it just right to manipulate him long enough to turn off the alarm of the chip, get the chip, and get out. That's what we have to do. Wish me luck. Oh. No reason I can't do that. See, there he is. Okay, we manipulated him enough to make him go over there, give us enough time to do what we need to do. Hold on. Quick question. Could we lock him out? Yes, we can. Okay. That's what we're going to do instead. Okay. Did we tell him to move over there? Okay. Door's closed. He can't get back through that way. We turn on the switch. So we have the shutters closed. They can't see us. Okay, used them a little more digipix than I wanted to there, but that's okay. Got the prototype. Got the magazine. Got this. Saving. Now we leave. How? That's a good question.
Let's go.
Okay. I'm gonna try to go back the way I came. See if that helps. Okay, remember the turrets are off now. Did I make it? Holy shit, I made it. Okay. I'm good with that. There was so much.
You can't go in. You just can't.
But David's my
Can I help you?
He writes me.
I hate to break it to you, but his PA's the one.
Next major headline.
All right. You've got my attention. What's this so-called story about? Corporate greed claims victims once more. And you have evidence to support this claim. Perfect stranger or not, we won't air anything without some sort of hard evidence. I don't suppose you want to tell me how you got this evidence. Of course. I just hope your source is as reliable as you think they are.
Why is that going off still?
I can cite as my source. Why am I not surprised? As long as the evidence is adequate and verifiable,
Oh
I
my
expect it'll be
fuck.
aired. Why am I not surprised? As long as the evidence is adequate and verifiable, I expect it'll be aired within the hour, if not sooner. Now, if you'll excuse me, I obviously have some work to do.
Alright. Now we go home. What a fucking quest, man. I think this was the last quest in this faction, so... Hey, boss.
I've yet to hear anything of note on SSNN. Let's hear your report.
Give it time. I just got here.
As long as it's good news, I suppose I can overlook your irritation. And how did the neuroamp perform?
Extremely useful.
I thought it would be. So now it's just a waiting game for SSNN to break the news. Once the story airs, we have another board meeting scheduled to decide how to handle Infinity. Go ahead, Maeve.
The SSNN broadcast has started. Shall I patch it through?
Yes, thank you.
Infinity Ltd. and Lucas Drexler are currently under investigation for a number of violations, including murder for hire, unauthorized human trials, and corporate theft. Authorities representing the UC and the Freestar Collective have been dispatched to a consolidated mining station and the clinic. Both locations are believed to hold numerous victims. Drexler's motivation appears to be an attempt to launch a new product based off stolen information from a competitor. The details on the project itself and the competitor have yet to be confirmed. This has been David Barrett for SSNN.
Perfect. This exposure puts Infinity right where we want them. The meeting will begin momentarily, but I want you to discuss the options we have with the other members. Infinity's net worth is about to hit rock bottom. So this gives us the opportunity to win a little more public faith.
Ryujin buys Infinite Ltd. and no one loses their job.
Quite right. The truth is, we'll be making evaluations. We'll shed any employees who don't make the cut, slowly but surely. By incorporating Infinity, we eliminate a competitor, get their best employees and contracts, and all while boosting our public perception.
Sounds like a win-win situation to me.
I'm glad we're on the same page. Which is why I'd like you to talk to the board to convince them this is the right move. There are several who might disagree, and you have the perfect tool to help sway them.
Heh. I'll talk to them. I'm not going to use the internal neuroamp on my coworkers.
Fine. Whether or not you use the internal neuroamp is up to you. But I still want results. You'll find most of the board members in their offices preparing. Vina is also here, waiting for the meeting to start. We'll need at least 50% of the vote to go our way. In the event of a tie, I will make the final decision. I trust you'll get it done.
Aye, Captain. Dear Jesus. Okay, cool.
Don't cause any trouble.
1 yes, 7 no's. Ho 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 ho! Here we go. I'm gonna save you for last. Take out my pills.
If only there were more hours in the day. Well, if it isn't my favorite operative, something I can help you with?
I hear you're not a fan of acquiring Infinite Ltd.
You heard correct. I've every reason to believe that Infinity Ltd is the Pandora's box of corporations.
Legal issues aside, the pros of acquiring Infinite Ltd far outweigh the cons.
All right, I could use the entertainment. Tell me why Infinity is a good asset.
Only 4? You act like this is the first time you ever had to consider acquiring another company.
Why else do you think my department is so successful?
The business benefits far outweigh any legal issues. And credits are king.
When it comes to profit, I suppose all my arguments do fall short. Huh. Well, what do you know? I think you just convinced me. Talent like yours belongs in the courtroom.
Hehe. I'm curious about your thoughts on the internal neuroamp.
Nice to know someone is. Everyone's too busy praising its completion to think about the dangers it could represent. First off, if I find out you used that device on me, I will tie you up in court on whatever charges I can conjure for the rest of your life.
I agree.
Second, that tech is one major human rights violation that no legal team wants to fight.
I agree.
I'll do whatever I can to make sure it's either severely delayed or collects dust in storage.
As you should. Ha 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 ha.
Well, I'm both glad and surprised to hear the one person who has one say that. Masako is lucky to have you at her disposal, you know? You may be the greatest asset, aside from the internal neuroamp, that Ryujin has. This exchange has been surprisingly insightful, but now I really do need to get back to my notes.
No problem, Alexis.
Is Masako checking up on me to make sure I'm on her side?
Maybe.
Well, you can let Masako know to rest easy. It just so happens that her agenda lines up with mine. We just need to grab Infinity Ltd while it's got the public's full attention. I'm all about free PR, especially when it's painting us in a good light.
Coming to the rescue of all those innocent workers really look good on for us.
I'm sure I can squeeze enough goodwill out of this to last us at least a year.
Woo! I'm actually here to discuss more than just Infinity Ltd.
Well, you have my attention.
The Eternal Neuroamp. The research should be banned.
The possible backlash on tech like this is not lost on me. However, the internal neuroamp will define the next era of tech, with Ryujin at the forefront. It's not an opportunity you just walk away from.
There's no way you could reveal tech like this and keep the public's favor.
Of course there is. You just have to know the right way to spin it. As any good marketing person knows, the public doesn't know what they want until we tell them. Well, it seems your talents really do stretch beyond just being an operative. Good talk. Maybe I'll even consult you on future endeavors.
Okay, so 2 yeses, 1 no, which is Alexis. I'm not gonna use it to ban it. It's interesting to think about.
It's good to see you again. And how's my favorite patient doing? Not seeing any temporal memory flashes or losing time, I hope.
Nope.
That's great. I'd say Project Dominion is ready for legitimate human trials in that case. One step closer to seeing market approval. Genevieve is going to be so excited. So, tell me what you think of the neuroamp.
It's dangerous. No one should have this sort of power.
I hope you're not actually suggesting that the technology I spent years working on and perfecting never sees the light of day. This is groundbreaking work. My life's work.
You're a scientist. Hear me out.
Fine. Make your case.
If there's enough public outrage, you might never work again.
No, I'm definitely not sure about risking my career over this. Well, this conversation's made me feel like a proper monster. But you're right. In a perfect world, tech like this is used for good. But this world is far from perfect.
2 no, 2 yeses. You got lost in the excitement of discovering something new.
It is. It really is. For years, my only focus has been, is this possible? And then, how do I make it work?
Exactly.
I never stopped to consider if it was right, or what it would mean.
Exactly.
I guess it'll be up to a vote either way. It's not on the meeting agenda, so I assume you'll bring it up yourself?
Yes.
We just have to hope the others will see reason. So the next question is, what will the fate of Infinity Ltd. be?
Fun to see how they tried to recreate your work.
Exactly. Not that I want to gloat over it.
Maybe just
a little. Okay, so DeMarcus and I have really been looking forward to it, so fingers crossed this deal goes through. Well, this has certainly been the most interesting conversation of my day. All we can do now is look forward to the meeting, right? See you in there.
Indeed. Hey, bud.
I'm glad we're making an effort in our appearance today. Just the person I wanted to see. I want to get all the details locked down for this meeting, and I believe you to be one of the best sources available.
Happy to help any questions you might have for me.
Good. I prefer first-hand feedback when available. You've had the chance to encounter members of Infinity Ltd. Throughout your assignments here. Do you think they're worth redemption? And why?
Of course. If we can save the jobs of thousands of people, we should do it.
Saving the jobs of thousands is altruistic, which is not a luxury corporations have.
True.
It's a financial burden. It would be a huge undertaking on my part.
You have the opportunity to do some good here. Why not take it?
That is a plea more well spent on Genevieve or Alexis. I prefer to focus on the numbers and leave emotions out of my decision-making.
Fine.
Your disdain is noted. And perhaps you thought I'd care because you're hopeful. Next question. What is your opinion on how Masako handled the mole situation?
We caught the mole, so I'd say it was a success.
Any insight into what made it successful?
Already had a plan in place to uncover the mole, and it worked.
Being prepared for anything is a great asset, one that Masako excels at. I appreciate the insight. I suppose I should ask if there's anything I can do for you, considering how helpful you've been.
Eternal Nero amp? Tech like that is dangerous, should be banned.
It's only dangerous to those who can't afford one. Hence the added motivation that will bolster sales.
Fine, once the lawsuit hits, you'll be drowning in compensation payouts.
It's possible. But with Alexis and Genevieve driving the restrictions and presentation of such a product, it's also highly unlikely. This has been rather enlightening for me. I appreciate the time.
Wow. He fucked me.
Oh my.
Okay,
Just
so
I
didn't get a chance
see.
to persuade him or
I want to
anything.
get
It
all
was
the details
Neuroamp
locked
or
down
his
for this
vote is
meeting.
set.
I believe you to be one of the best sources.
You mean as well. Shut up.
This is true. Infinity never had the financial resources to match our salary offers. Getting what few capable employees they have at half the salary we typically pay here could have major payoffs in the long run. Next question. I think we all know how averse I am to chaos. Finances are my forte, so you make a good point. Our competition has yet to truly master neuroamps, but the possibility is there. It's a risk I am unwilling to take. At this time. This has been rather enlightening for me. I appreciate the time.
Wow, so I have to manipulate him. Otherwise, I don't get anything.
This meeting should prove to be very interesting. I assume Masako briefed you on her preferred outcome.
We're told to use the Eternal Neuroamp well, yes, but I refuse to use Eternal... Maybe the votes go her way.
With that internal neuroamp, no doubt. If it were up to me, I'd have shut down Project Dominion a long time ago.
Alton, I agree with you.
I knew it was a grave security risk. And look what happened.
Yep. We saw firsthand how dangerous this tech is. Should never go to market.
You read my mind. Let's just hope Masako and the others see it that way. Plus, if we vote to acquire Infinity Ltd., we're about to add a significant workload onto my team. The last thing I want to deal with are any more incidents this new neuroamp might cause.
Worth the work. I know your team can handle it.
I imagine we're looking at months of work. Infinity Ltd is obviously not known for their security. I only hope that Masako and the others will be patient with the process. Now,
they have to be.
Excuse me, I have some preparations to make. We'll be announcing Ularu's termination of employment at this meeting, so I need to have security ready to escort her off the premises.
Good work, Dalton. All right, you little cow. I'm gonna come and smack your ass.
Jesus Christ.
Hi, bitch.
Daddy, chill.
Did Masako send you to try and convince me to acquire Infinity Ltd? I think we both know that's not going to work.
Save jobs. It's good public perception.
Our public perception is good enough. If you ask me, reaching out to save Infinity just makes us look weak. The internal neuroamp gives us the power to crush our competitors, not take them under our wing. This is exactly why Masako's time as CEO is finished.
Masako's a better CEO than you'll ever be.
I'll overlook your poorly educated statement. For now.
Oh my god!
Throwing your competitor a lifeline when they're about to crash and burn hardly seems wise.
Doesn't matter, you'll do it anyway.
Well, it does make Ryujin look good. And we do gain a wider customer base, which means higher profits. You're oddly right about this one, Op. I guess you are worth keeping around. As long as everyone has Ryujin's best interests in mind. This should make for an interesting meeting.
Bring up the neuroamp as an issue in the meeting.
An issue? That would be a foolish move. Dalton and Alexis are the only two against it. You'd never get the rest to shut it down.
Yeah, I will.
Dangerous indeed. For all I know, you're using it right now. The irony. Perhaps I didn't see it earlier, but you're right. The moment a competitor reverse engineers Vina's work, it'll be chaos. The last thing I want is to have my brain scrambled because some engineer didn't do their due diligence. Now, if you'll excuse me, I still have a lot of preparations to make.
Cool. Alright, we'll see how this goes.
All right, everyone. As you all know, we've successfully exposed Infinity Ltd's botched human trials and murder for hire through SSNN. The public is demanding their leadership, namely Lucas Drexler, face trial, and he's probably writing his resignation as we speak. Ryujin will be launching a statement, but I believe now is the perfect time to acquire Infinity Ltd.
Our intention is to purchase Infinity Ltd. Would put the employees' minds at ease.
Believe it or not, I agree. The acquisition has risks, and it's going to create a lot of work for all of us. But the overall payoff will be worth it.
That and Infinity Ltd's current situation makes them more affordable than ever.
Arguments? None? Excellent. Moving on, then.
I think what we're all overlooking is what led us to this situation to begin with. Yes, our security was compromised. But considering Dalton was hired by Masako, the issue obviously starts at the top. In fact, I propose that Masako be removed from CEO altogether.
Ularu, this isn't a line you want to cross.
And considering you're the mole, if anyone's going to be removed from power, it's going to be you.
Hold up. Are you saying you lied to us?
Dalton, the last meeting we had, you distinctly said Imogene was the mole, and she'd been dealt with.
We only lied about Imogene so Ularu would incriminate herself.
Do you even have any proof to back up this outrageous claim?
Of course we do. The malicious code you hid on this slate to upload incriminating evidence against Masako onto Lucas Drexler's computer.
To put it bluntly, Ularu, you're fired. Security will hold you in your office until a proper exit interview can be done.
This isn't right. I should at least have the opportunity to resign.
And allow you to still be marketable to a competitor? I don't think so. This may be news to me, and I will be reviewing the evidence closely. But this isn't something you just get to walk away from.
Enjoy unemployment.
Security. Escort Miss Chen to her office and see that she stays put.
You'll regret this. All of you.
I believe the only regret would be trusting you to begin with.
All right, back to business. All in favor of acquiring Infinity Ltd?
Aye.
Good. Alexis, start drawing up the necessary documentation. Anyone have anything else they'd like to bring up?
I believe work on the internal neuroamp needs to be shelved.
The internal neuroamp is a key component of Ryujin Industries' success for the next 10 years, if not more. Why would we shelve it after we've finally perfected it?
The moment the public learns about it, no one will trust anyone anymore, especially Ryuju.
Well,
I can't believe I'm saying this, but he's right. Regardless of the pros, the cons are too morally and ethically irresponsible to move forward with.
I must agree. We can't go through with production on technology like this until certain safeties can be guaranteed.
Very well. All in favor of shelving Project Dominion?
Aye.
All against?
Nay.
Vina, prep Project Dominion for storage. Any other matters to bring forth? None? This concludes our order of business for today.
So much work to do.
Oh, she's just chilling over there. Madame.
Shelving the internal neuroamp. Not the outcome I anticipated.
Maybe now you see why the eternal neuroamp is dangerous.
A fine point, but it still proves its usefulness. The truth remains, Lucas Drexler learned a hard lesson, and we exposed a traitor among us. You've proven yourself to be quite the asset here at Ryujin.
Quite a compliment coming from Ryujin's CEO.
It's well earned and deserved. I truly appreciate the work you put into exposing Ularu. No operative has ever had to investigate our own to the extent that you did. I can imagine it may have been a lot of pressure, considering you were fairly new at the time.
These are the jobs I live for.
I hope that enthusiasm sticks with you for the foreseeable future. Imogene's instincts were right about you. Now, as promised, I have your bonus. I hope you'll find it appropriate for all you've done. And I'm promoting you to senior operative. You've more than earned it.
Thank you.
It's well deserved. As for the details, I think someone back on the operations floor would prefer to explain those to you.
Imogene! Imogene! I'd date you if I wasn't already married. Oh, I have to go get you. Perfect. I'm sorry, I went the wrong way! I apologize! Imogene!
You've certainly shaken things up around here. I still can't believe Ularu tried to frame me. An obvious misjudgment on my part. But now that's all in the past. It's time to get back to your typical day-to-day.
Good to see you back in the office, Imogene.
And I'd say it's good to be back if I hadn't returned to a mountain of paperwork. Now, since you were new, you've been dealing with people, but most of our assignments are generated on the mission board. The board holds any available assignments that our techs have pieced together, and I've approved. Questions?
No, I'm good.
Good. The mission board is generally self-explanatory anyway. With your promotion, you've earned yourself an office, so whenever you're ready, you can find your own personal mission board inside.
Oh, shit!
And the best perk of them all, you're free to make your own hours. Oh, and, congratulations, of course.
Thanks, Imogene. I'll see you around.
You certainly will. Go check out the board, and if you have any questions, I suppose I can start up an open door policy. Just for you.
Imogene, I'm a married man. Just saying. Oh, it's on this floor? Ah, look at that! I do have my own office. Ooh. Ooh, I like Kim's. I'm a Kim boy. Gimme.
Grabbing pills.
What are these? Oh, melee. Yep. Oh, they're all ones I love to use them. Cool. Oh, that is awesome. If I didn't have to piss and poop, I'd be still here, but I'm... Okay. So I would only get access to this mission board if I did the... Cool. Okay, cool. Talk to Sarah.
Don't wander into any restricted areas.
I'm a senior op, bitch. I can go where I want. Let's go have a chat with Sarah, I guess. You can make your own hours, meaning you never have to work again. Sarah, dear. Actually, where are you? Sarah? Sweetums. Sweetums, you're supposed to... Oh. No, that's out. I don't have anywhere else. She's on my ship, dude. Yeah. I mean, she's supposed to be. Sarah? Where are you? The hell? Oh. Sweetheart, I am so sorry, but I think you're folding in on yourself. Is that a good thing?
Help me. Handling those tricky decisions regarding Ryujin must have been difficult. In fact, I'm amazed you were able to deal with them at all. Those types of corporations remind me why I never ventured into business. I can't stand that way of life.
Disgusting.
It is disgusting. And I'm pleased you recognized that Ryujin almost made a grievous error in judgment. After all, based on your recommendation, they've ceased their work on that disturbing neuroamp technology.
The technology... Oh. Happy you approve of my decision?
Why wouldn't I be pleased about your decision? Can you imagine if that technology had fallen into the wrong hands? The awful things you could force people to do. Oh, it's terribly frightening.
The negatives completely outweigh the positives.
Yes, quite. Well, I've certainly taken up enough of your time. Thanks for letting me get that off my mind. Well, hello, sunshine.
Ready?
I'm more than ready. Let's go.
Also,
I'm here for you, my love. Oh, I can tell I'm going to like this.
Indeed. Words cannot express how much you mean to me.
Every time you talk to me, I fall in love with you more and more.
If I can't hug her all the time, then fuck you, Bethesda.
Bye, love.
Alright. Let's go to the UC! Whoop whoop! That's the next quest line we're going to take on. Okay, then. Ooh! Sheesh! That's a hefty increase, man. Oh, he is. Just at the desk. Okay.
Hey, Sarah's friend. You come to enlist at long last? Start earning your stripes with the Vanguard?
What exactly is the Vanguard?
We're the United Colonies volunteer fleet. Any captain can join, regardless of origin. Get to fly your own ship and earn credits as you help the people in the most distant reaches of the United Colonies, all while earning your way to UC citizenship. Put in the time, and citizenship is guaranteed.
What sort of work would I be doing if I enlist?
Vanguard work is as needed. When we've got jobs, we'll make them available to you. But the work itself, well, it runs the gamut. Sometimes you might be hunting down hostile ships on behalf of the UC Navy, or you might be called up to help the Science Division clean up some invasive species. Hell, we've even been asked to help take on the occasional terramorph. And sometimes we just need cargo support. Not every job's glamorous, The Vanguard only gets called in for the ones where there's a chance of seeing action. Wherever the UC needs us, the Vanguard is there.
Why would I want to become a UC citizen?
Well, other than becoming a member of the greatest faction in the galaxy, you'd get access to discounted services on any UC world. Credits to help you get on your feet. You'd even be able to buy property right here in New Atlantis. Citizenship unlocks it all. And signing up for the Vanguard is the fastest way to earn it.
Okay, I'm game. Tell me what I need to do next.
Well, alright. Take the elevator down to the Vanguard Orientation Hall. You can get started at any of the registration terminals. The system will walk you through the rest. And if you've got any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
You already did, bud. Hey, look at that. Okay. Up to and including death. In exchange, the United Colonies Vanguard agrees to compensate all captains according to their experience level and the difficulty of the task requested. All applicants will be required to earn a satisfactory grade on a simulated combat flight, successfully complete a probationary mission. On the completion of both prerequisites, the United Colonies Vanguard agrees to sponsor your citizenship application and agrees to granting of United Colonies citizenship once sufficient time or acts of valor have been warranted. Do you agree to the above commitment and wish to initiate your journey with United Colonies Vanguard? Documented. Consent documented. You may proceed to the examination chamber through the orientation hall.
Registration accepted. You may now proceed through the historical displays in the orientation hall or continue on to the examination.
Whoa!
In 2150, humanity learned the Earth's magnetosphere would collapse sometime in the next half-century, eliminating all life on the planet. Decisive action was required, but the secure transport of an entire civilization would demand a new kind of cooperation, a new kind of courage, and a new kind of union. Thus, in 2159, the United Colonies were formed to make that journey possible. Just 1 year later, the Galileo, the first of many colony ships, touched down here on Jemison, beginning a new era of human history, the age of the United Colonies.
The effort and planning it must have taken to evacuate literally the entire planet. Can you imagine? The logistics alone must have been mind-boggling.
Yeah. Oh, what the Earth used to look like. New factions rise.
From their foundation, the United Colonies strove to provide all their citizens with opportunity, security, and peace. But there were those among the UC that still wanted something more. Independence. So in 2161, the UC issued the Centaurus Proclamation, granting UC citizens the right to settle distant worlds and form their own sovereign powers. It wasn't long before the first new faction, the Free Star Collective, was formally organized in 2188, later followed by House Varun, revealing themselves to the universe in 2230.
The result of the Centaurus Proclamation has always left me torn. So much conflict arose as a result. Was it worth it?
It had to be, sir. Otherwise, they would have done it anyway.
It was only in 2230 that the faction known as House Varun first made contact with the rest of the settled systems. Founded by the passengers of a colony ship that had left New Atlantis and disappeared 4 decades earlier, House Varun, was affection unlike any other. A theocracy dedicated wholly to the beliefs of its isolationist founder, Jinan Varun. House Varun initially made overtures of peace towards the rest of the settled systems. They claimed their only intention was to spread the word of their god, the Great Serpent. But none could have guessed that this worship might take the form of a bloody war, the Serpent's Crusade. The Freestar Collective was initially founded in 2188, when the citizens of Aquila banded together with the pleasure city of Neon in mutual defense. But in 2194, after the deployment of a UC medical star station in orbit around their world, the citizens of Narion also requested to join the collective. The resulting rise in tensions between the Freestar Collective and UC culminated in the settled system's first intergalactic conflict, the Narion War. Despite a decisive victory by the UC, the colonies permitted the citizens of Narion to join the collective, forming the basis for the fiercely independent union that persists to this day. Beginning in 2240, House Varun forces declared all-out war on the rest of human civilization, initiating the Serpent's Crusade. Over the next 23 years, thousands of Freestar, UC, and independent souls were killed by agents of House Varun in the name of their serpent god. It was only with the death of their founder in 2263 and the succession of his heir Jarek that House Varun finally sued for peace. There remained, however, select members of House Varun who refused to recognize the cessation of hostilities their leaders established. Even after House Varun's mysterious disappearance, these zealots remain a threat to all who encounter them. Their pacification, a goal of all space.
Okay, so as far as it goes right now, the Earth's magnetic field went through devastating change in 2152. To save everyone on Earth, United Colonies was formed so that they could space travel, colonize new planets. They came to Alpha Centauri as the first planet. Once here, different people of United Colonies decided they wanted to be independent, and so they asked, as a collective, as a whole of the United Colonies, can we become independent? And so they formed the treaty, saying yes, you are more than welcome to go out into the stars and colonize and settle your own worlds. So through that came House Varun and the Freestar Collective. The first war, according to that, was the Serpent's Crusade, as House Varun decided that they declared war on all the systems and attacked the Freestar Collective and the United Colonies. Now comes the hard part. I don't know which was first, but we'll listen to it. This, the conflict among the stars.
Of the many conflicts between the galaxy's factions, none was more brutal than the recent colony war between the UC and the Freestar Collective. Set off by the unauthorized Freestar colonization of Vesta's Pride in 2308, a direct violation of the Narion Treaty, the colony war spread quickly across the galaxy. Both sides deployed every tool at their disposal. Armadas of warships, mechanized combat platforms, or mechs, even bioengineered alien creatures, the infamous UC xenoweapons. It was only in 2311 at the Battle of Cheyenne that the scales finally tipped. The Freestar Collective, utilizing their civilian fleet as a human shield, successfully crippled the superior United Colonies Navy. After their shocking victory against the galaxy's greatest navy, the Freestar Collective offered terms of peace, which the colonies, out of an interest in staving off any further human costs, accepted. The galaxy has been rebuilding ever since.
The colony war was a horrible conflict that irreparably wounded the settled systems. There were times I felt that it would never end.
Few settled worlds were left untouched by the colony war. But nowhere could the viciousness of modern warfare be seen more clearly than on the Freestar planet of Nira. Initially occupied by invading United Colonies forces as a forward operating position, repeated attempts to take and retake the planet by collective forces led only to devastation. Swaths of the world were transformed into scorched husks, a nightmarish testament to the depths of human ingenuity and human cruelty. And today, Nira remains a continuing reminder to the horrors of unfettered war.
Okay, so this was a battle during this. Good to know. I'm mad we can't ride those.
In the midst of the colony war, a different kind of tragedy struck the UC city of Londinian. A newly constructed but critical supply center for the United Colonies' war effort, Londinian found itself overrun by one of the galaxy's most mysterious predators, the Terramorph. A rare but pervasive threat to all human-settled worlds, Terramorphs swept over the city seemingly out of nowhere on a scale never before seen in recorded history. Valiant efforts by the UC military slowed the onslaught, but the creatures proved unstoppable. Ultimately, the decision was made to destroy the Londinian spaceport, sealing off the city, the outbreak, and its citizenry from the galaxy at large. The tragedy of Londinian is mourned by the UC to this day.
I really hope this is just a phase.
Wait.
Dad wanted me to apply for the administration track at school, but I'm going to be a xenobiologist. It's science division or nothing.
Is that a Terramorph?
Yes! Yes!
After the devastation wrought by the colony war, the UC and the Freestar Collective came together to ratify a treaty that became known as the Armistice. Both sides agreed to a vast reduction in standing forces, and that xeno-weapons and mech warfare would be outlawed. All related research was sealed away, accessible only in cases of dire emergency. But the Collective had another demand, that the active commanders of the UC military stand trial for their actions. The United Colonies, in the interest of peace and galactic security, agreed. In 2311, 3 United Colonies senior officers were found guilty. Commander Henry Durant, General Indira Rastogi, and Fleet Admiral Francois Sanon, known better as Ve Victus. All were sentenced to death for their actions, bringing the colony war to a close and returning peace to the galaxy at long last.
I was a strong supporter of the armistice. All of the terrible weapons that both sides used against one another. It had to end.
Oh, crap. We can read them. By the 3 parties, the Freestar Collective, House Faroon, and the United Colonies, for the collection and protection of all knowledge, research, and documentation depicting, describing, or in any way related to technologies and mechanisms banned by this armistice. Should be governed by the following laws. Access to all information in these archives will be mutually managed by all 3 parties. Access is only permitted by anonymous agreement of authorized factual representatives. The facility will be under the direct control of no sovereign faction, with no single party permitted to overrule the others. All decisions regarding matters pertaining to the archives must be unanimous. Any attempt at unauthorized access will be considered an act of aggression against all parties. Each party commits to defend the others against any such attempts. Shit.
It was into this new world that the Vanguard was born. An official branch of the UC Navy, the Vanguard is the United Colonies Volunteer Fleet, serving a myriad of security, logistical, and reconnaissance roles. And after a sufficient length of service, UC citizenship is guaranteed to every Vanguard member. Open to all captains, regardless of origin, the Vanguard is leading the charge to protect and support the citizens of the United Colonies, wherever in the galaxy they may be.
Ha, cool.
No one is born a United Colony citizen. Only through service to the UC can one hope to earn one's citizenship. But the UC prides itself on taking care of its people. Cost of living controls mean citizens pay less than their foreign counterparts for needs big and small. All citizens are issued a grant upon joining to get themselves on their feet. And only UC citizens have the opportunity to purchase property, getting the chance to live in one of the most beautiful cities in the settled systems. By joining the Vanguard today, you too can begin earning your place here, in the heart of galactic civilization, as a citizen of the United Colonies.
If I get this badass armor, yes. Yes, please. Sarah? Badakadak included?
Yes!
Cool. Oh, fuck. Huh.
Welcome, applicant, to the piloting simulation chamber. Please.
I've spent a fair bit of time in simulators just like these. They're startlingly realistic. Have fun.
Thanks, sir. Do I get to pick, or do I have to go? Oh, cool.
Ah, you must be our new applicant. I'm Proctor Samuelson. The simulator's already been prepped. You can head in whenever you're ready.
What kind of ship am I going to fly in this simulation?
The simulator is designed to be a near-perfect replica of a Class B Deimos hoplite, the United Colony's standard destroyer model. It's been tuned to provide a challenging but fair fight against the enemy squadrons you'll encounter inside.
Piloting isn't my area of expertise.
Vanguard assignments can often include both space and ground combat.
Yeah, I know.
It'd be bad for both you and the United Colonies to not ensure you're adept in both capacities before sending you out on your first real assignment.
I agree. Any advice?
While I can't answer that question directly, I will say this. Due to the solitary nature of our work, resourcefulness is a critical tool in any Vanguard pilot's repertoire. You're permitted, even encouraged, to use whatever tool you're able to find in there. Of course, you'll be running through a high-realism combat flight simulation, engineered by members of the UC science staff, right here in Mast. Your task is to defeat at least 3 tiers of simulated opponents. Accomplish that, and you pass the exam, and can then proceed on to your probationary mission. However, if you defeat more than 3 tiers of enemies, your required enlistment time for citizenship will be reduced, and your enlistment bonus increased. But you're welcome to try as many times as you like before returning to Commander Tuala to proceed on to the next step in your application process. We'll only keep the highest score you manage to achieve in there.
Gotcha.
Good hunting. This is the Mark 18 Flight Simulation Chamber applicant, currently in orbit around a high-detail recreation of a remote world. When you're ready to begin, please take a seat in the pilot's chair. Your exam is simple. Defeat as many tiers of opponents as you can before your ship is disabled. You must defeat at least 3 tiers of opponents to pass the exam. Good hunting, applicant.
New targets active. All targets eliminated. Progress recorded. Tier 1 reached. Initiating Tier 2. New targets active.
You must be able to do better than that. Target defeated.
All targets eliminated. Progress recorded. Tier 2 reached. Initiating Tier 3. New targets active.
Target defeated.
All targets eliminated. Progress recorded. Tier 3 reached.
Congratulations, applicant. You've defeated sufficient opponents to pass the exam. You may now exit the simulator through the hatch to record your current score, or stay and try your hand at the remaining tiers.
Oh, you healed me. Nice.
Resuming the examination.
New targets active.